Well, that's already happening. Like, every day, the cops just run up to a guy on a bicycle, no reason, and slam his head in the concrete and then charge him. And it's on video, and they say, we don't care. Or throwing a guy off a bridge and tasering him 19 times and laughing. My whole issue is you say a lot of police, a lot of people in your family.
Call them peace officers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference.
Peace officers, they are good. They're on our side. They're not doing all of this, so it's certainly not time for going out and after moose.
It's a minority issue, first of all, but here's the problem. There's going to be a given point when you're going to reach the limit, period. There's just simply, that's all there is to it. And those men, I've had men walk right up to me and say, hi, Mark, you don't know who I am. I'm Deputy so-and-so. I just want you to look at my face, remember who I am, because if I'm in uniform when this starts, the first thing that's disappearing is a uniform, and I'm going to be with my family, and we're already armed, and we're with you. And the reason they say that is because their perception is that they would like everybody to understand they're not part of this, and they won't participate. And I can say this, but I cannot mention names. I have watched this happen in the last year. They've already tried to orchestrate something else.
With you.
It already failed.
Yeah, you just spent 7 years on video for doing nothing. They ran you off the road.
Exactly.
Just like they run 15 feet over the side of the street and knock a guy off a bicycle and then charge him.
Right, exactly. And the point is that they're pressing the envelope. But here's the thing. There are many people, and they will tell you the same thing, that they are expecting to fight, because the rabid ones that are chosen for authority are not the thinking ones. You have to get outside this box that you're going to negotiate with a backed-up toilet. The backed-up toilet, in fact, this one has wheels. It plans on being rolled down through your neighborhood, okay? And that's the problem. Look at him as nothing more than a backed-up toilet. How would you fix it? Break out the plunger and get rid of the problem. Now, we do get to choose. One of the mistakes made here is, I will ask again, I want somebody to go to the National Archives, and I want them to show me the vote that took us into the American Revolution. The American Revolution started on April 19th, 1775. I want you to show me the ballot box, and I want you to show me the counting of the votes. Where is it?
No, it started when they started shooting at each other.
It started when one man said, you know what, I've been out here 7 times. Paul made his ride. He told everybody, get up. We all got up. The British came out. The cowards ran. They came out, and eventually, remember, when the American Revolution started, the British had to sneak out of Boston. The Patriot movement was watching everything that they were doing. The counties knew that when they moved, they had to mobilize the militias. And it was made up of all of the people. And each time they went out, and they stopped, and they went back. And each time they went out, they stopped. And this is part of history that they have to try and eliminate, because, wait a minute, well, they're the most powerful army on the planet. What were they afraid of? They were afraid of the people, because there weren't enough moose. Finally, on April 19th, somebody got stupid. They figured, well, we just got to press the envelope. One man, probably on our side, probably a 20-year veteran of the French and Indian Wars, said, I'm 62 years old, and I ain't getting any younger, and I'm not going to do this anymore. Boom! And he voted with a 1-ounce chunk of lead. The lead was cast as a resounding vote. It was placed in the redcoat ballot box, and then the redcoat ballot box, the redcoats cast a whole bunch of ballots. The Patriots cast a whole bunch of ballots, and the militia withdrew from the election, so to speak, for a little bit of time, and ran across the fields out of Lexington proper. The British collected themselves, went to look for another voting process at Concord, and they found out that they were on the losing side, and the number of votes cast were in favor of the Patriot effort, and the largest military force on the planet, backed by a navy.
And that's the problem with this lawless government and all of its crimes, is it is pushing everyone into a law of the jungle scenario, where the cartridge box is now the ballot box.
They're hoping for a reaction. Notice that I'm not shouting. I'm responding. I have a plan. There are millions of soldiers and former soldiers out there that don't want to fight, but they have a plan too. And we all understand how to wage war. It is what we did. I was a trainer. I was an OPFOR training commander. I have managed virtually tens of thousands of men. That job hasn't changed, and my experience hasn't changed. And a lot of other men, just like me, and men with far more experience with 2 and 3 wars under their belt, are on our side, simply asking the question, how could the American people be so stupid as to let this happen or put up with it? At a given point, those men are going to...
Well, let me just list some of the things. We have illegal aliens who are felons. The mainstream news admits that's the prize, a felon who is a foreigner. They're filling the military up with that. Mercenaries, foreign troops. I played Bill Moyers yesterday with Israeli troops in the U.S. Yep. I mean, this is now on PBS saying it. So all of this is going on. My only point is I don't want to start a hot war when we are in the info war destroying them right now.
We are going to have to be ready to do both. We must be prepared as the militia to, if need be, defend any element of the patriot movement.
So for you, Mark Koernke, and we got to take a few calls because I've got to go.
Yeah, you got to go.
What is the line in the sand for you?
I think that if there's a, and again, this was planned on for, let's see, we knew as of November of 1994 that in from March 21st to March 23rd of 1995, they were planning mass arrests of patriots across the United States.
So you got on air and said they were planning to stage a terror
We
attack.
told everybody about it and said, well, this is before Oklahoma City. Remember, that would have been the premise for the government doing the bombing and saying the patriots did it. Now, the problem is that Oklahoma City happened in a vacuum because we flat out said, here's how it's going to work. If anybody is picked up, if you try to grab a whole bunch of people, you will die. I looked right at one person and said, what do you think is going to happen? I said, the only thing you need to bring is a whole hell of a lot of body bags because ain't nobody going to put up with it, and you're going to end up with a whole lot of dead people. So you're the ones who are going to be at fault for starting this thing, not us, because nobody's going to put up with this anymore. And that did not happen in a vacuum. That started in 1988 with the ATF in a series of abuses that went on for 5 years before Ruby Ridge, where they killed women, they killed men, they attacked people. Ruby Ridge didn't
setting precedents, trial balloons.
Progressively moving forward so that by the time they're done in the year 1993, everybody saw Waco on national television. And Waco was a progressive, cascading, it was the culmination of 5 to 6 years of ongoing abuses. Now their logic was, I'll keep pressing. After all, you'll have to acquiesce. And they were looking to show
I think they were looking to start a fight.
No, they were looking to show you that they could kick rumpus and take names. And the logic there was to also puff up the infantry that are doing the job because
give them a few victories shooting up churches.
Secret police have to. They got to
have blood.
They have no spine. They're cowards. Okay, it's just like you see here. Popping a guy on a bike with 3 guys with a car or 2 guys with a car is nothing to me. That shows me that you're dealing with a pea brain and a thug. Okay, when you attack a church with grandmas, grandpas, women, and children, and all the working men away, that's what savages do. They wait till the men were in the field, and then they attack the fortress or they attack the town. The Indians would always attack when the men were in the fields or working because they'd be away from the treasure. That's exactly what the savages did at Waco, the exact same way. And everybody saw it on national television, and it still failed because what it did is it demonstrated what we tried to explain to everybody behind the scenes long before I did American Peril. Now the same thing is true now. It's going to be the same scenario. At some point, they're going to be stupid. Now, if they're smart, they're going to back off, and they're going to sit down and maybe do the right thing. What's going to change that is all these people that are listening saying, I saw what you did, and I know who you are. You're not doing it in a vacuum. You're not doing it in isolation. Millions of people know. Tens of millions of people know. Here's the thing. What do you have in your hand? It's from England. Not just Americans know. All of the thinking world knows. The enemy is in trouble because of that, because it's not first not a line to say.
No, all of this puffing and blustering and black uniforms and festooned with medals is an attempt to intimidate, like a beaten wife, back into submission.
One of the things I have is a pair of scissors I carry in my combat equipment. You know what it's for? I'm looking to try and get at least one of every one of the 3-letter alphabet suit patches off each uniform of the ones we've shot, because it looks really good on the wall next to the rifles and the hats you've taken, especially the ones with the blood stains. You know, war trophies are a fun thing. Americans are notorious for that. Okay? That's the attitude everybody has to have, not this, oh my goodness, no, I'm not. You know what? Look at that. See that one there? You know what, Alex? I think he's wearing a 10.5 size boot, and mine are getting kind of tired. I'll beat you to him.
Koernke, you're something else.
That's the attitude everybody's got to have. And then again, the other side will think, because they're cowards, they are not brave people. To beat up on Alex by himself on a road in a dark alley, or anybody that we know, that's not an act of a man one-on-one. That's the act of cowards who, of course, work in packs when they have to deal with free men and women who stand the line and in the light of day.
Well, I do want people to know they have strength and power, and the enemy is weak.
That's right. That's what we do.
And we need to pray for peace, prepare for war, and we need to prepare to protect our families, because there's no doubt this government is completely illegitimate and completely criminal.
At least be ready to feed yourself.
And Mark, I have to say that you have a lot of courage to say the things you say. I truly have weighed things, and I try. My job is to wake up as many as I can, to energize as many people as I can, just as you have done and been successful at. and to just let people know the nature of their enemy so they can make the decisions about what they're going to do, and then I can point people at you. Give folks your website. I only have time to take 2 or 3 phone calls.
Okay, real quick here. Go to www.libertytreeradio.4mg.com. That's www.libertytreeradio.4mg.com. And we're also on We the People Radio Network, by the way, WTPRN.com. You'll also find us, if you want to go to YouTube, have some fun, guys. Go to YouTube and punch in Liberty Tree Radio. That's Liberty Tree Radio. Go to YouTube, punch in Liberty Tree Radio.
You've got some great training videos.
All the videos, both our music videos. To take a look, this will give you a chance to see what troops are doing all around the country, a lot of the training. And by the way, you will see our new dog, Bruce. He was 220 pounds when we got him. He's a black and white dog. We had to weld 2 of them together, one white, one black, and we went schnook. And now we have this.
No squeezing, only tickle. All right, listen, I gotta get to some calls.